Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. 5 here, hosting a very nostalgic installment of Disney Afternoon Debates in commemoration of DuckTales coming to a close. Tonight's program of topics is as follows: Best Disney Afternoon Show, Worst Rebooted DuckTales, and which Disney Afternoon Show should get a reboot next. So without further delay, let's board the Wayback Machine and assume crash positions because Launchpad's driving as we head down Disney Afternoon Avenue to the arena! In this corner, he's tougher than the toughies. And if he had a mustache, we'd call him Gene. Say Hakuna Matata because it's Tiki!
Guys, I've eaten so many fruit gushers to prepare for the 90s-ness of this podcast that I think I might die somewhere in the middle of it. I don't know. Yeah, I might be in trouble.
Man's gonna OD on the 90s, and we're gonna be here to bear
witness. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, my arteries might just clog.
It's fruit dye, at least. Fruit dye.
And in the opposing corner, a soldier in the Goof Troop, maybe a wee bit bonkers. But because we say, whoa, wait, what? Before you say, whoa, wait, what? It's Jokers!
Wow. I've been calling Tiki Gene for years. And he responds to it.
Yep, he's been Gene since 2015.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right.
And joining me on the Tribunal of Caballeros, it's Jacob Weil and Claude Coringa.
Greetings, everybody.
Woohoo, everybody.
How are we?
I'm doing just fine, Dragon. Thank you. Thanks for asking.
I just woke up. We're doing okay.
Okay.
Doing all right.
Nothing's gonna wake you up like a little whiff of the 90s.
You read it. And if that doesn't, the Pizza Hut surely will.
Oh, God.
All right, so we're here yet again for another debate, very focused on the Disney afternoon of it all. So let me do a little refresher on the rules. Okay, so we got 3 rounds. The way it works is, because we might have some new people joining us for this too, by the way. So for the folks playing the home game, the regulars, maybe the not so regulars. The way it works is we got 3 rounds. We're going to establish each player's pick. Then we're going to go around and have them give an opening statement. And then they're going to fight it out. Of course, as always, R2 here is the bell, which means it's time to deliberate amongst the panel of judges. Whoever gets the most votes wins the point. So at the end of 3 rounds, we get to the optional feature of our little show, the coin. In this case, a coin from Scrooge McDuck's vault.
Nice. Why can't it be the lucky dime?
Well, I'm getting...
the number one dime.
Oh, but are you sure Scrooge is letting his kid get that dime?
Okay, hold on. It sounds like he's building to the number 1 dime.
Yeah,
it sounds like
there's
the
just
number
never
1.
any patience amongst you, Brew, is there? Never. Anyway, okay.
Oh, he's not magic
I'm
us,
sorry,
though.
Dragon.
So the point... Anyway, so the coin... from the vault here, it's an optional feature of the game. We get both players will be allotted at the end of 3 rounds. Lands heads, you get a point. Lands tails, well, not so lucky. You lose a point. And of course, hidden within a round is a bonus coin I like to call the dime.
All right, thank you. I'm terribly sorry, Dragon.
Yeah. And that the dime, because it's so special, it'll be awarded to the winner. We're going to find out where it is at the end of each round, whether it's there or not. And at the end of at the end, when we eventually get to it, I guess, it'll be awarded to the round winner only.
Okay.
Are there any surprises?
I'm so glad you asked. Because at the end of 3 rounds, we enter the speed round, which is very special and full of surprises.
Oh no!
Oh God! Oh
And
God!
I really mean it. Oh boy.
Oh
you don't
no!
You don't want to
no!
know what magic I pulled. The audience knows, but okay.
How did
You'll
we?
find out when we get there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
all
so
right.
of course the objective of it all, the first to 5 points wins the game, the full enchilada. Hooray, hooray, they're gonna win. So do the players understand the rules as I've explained them to you both here this fine afternoon?
Yes.
This afternoon. Yes, yeah.
Okay, let's cue the randomizer.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, Joker.
Hooray. It's fine.
All right.
Okay, so Jokers is going first, followed by Tiki, and that's the order, at least for the 3 main rounds.
Okay.
All right, let's get dangerous.
Should we start with put some comments in?
Yeah, sure. Let's celebrate with some comments here.
Just to
Who
shout
we
him
got?
out, we have Jedi Knight in the comments. Is that Pumbaa from Quack Pack? And then I love that one. Yeah, I'm mixing up Donald, Monkey, and Jedi Knight's comments because Monkey also says like Pumbaa is stealing the image, which I agree with. Anyways, so all right, but yeah, it looks like we've got just also Honeybee, Mike, Lee still here, Jedi Knight, Miscellaneous. Just want to shout you guys out. All right, with that in mind, Dragon, Dragon, really quick. What color should the banner be?
Well, now you ask me. Oh God.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
Purple.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Do you guys have any suggestions?
Purple.
Yeah, purple for Darkwing.
Yeah.
It works.
Okay.
I mean, I think like the logo on Disney Afternoon had like that light purple sort of
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so-
Oh yeah, I think that works.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
beautiful. It's beautiful, Tiki.
Hmm.
Thank you.
I do love
It's
Monkey's
your
comment
strongest
here,
Shit.
where he says heads or tails spin. That's fantastic. I didn't think that was good.
Okay.
All right, so let's get dangerous with round 1.
Hooray.
Right. Round numero
Make it
uno. Considering DuckTales, DuckTales season 3, very much reaching into the past with a lot of its stuff of the Disney afternoon shows, begs the question: what is the best Disney afternoon series?
Yeah.
Jokers.
Jokers.
Am I good to go? Well,
Yeah, tell us what you have.
Just say what you have.
absolutely. Thank you. It's been a while. I have Darkwing Duck.
All right, and I have Timon and Pumbaa, the animated series.
Timon and Pumbaa.
Timon and Pumbaa,
Darkwing.
2 very catchy series.
two
by the
very
way,
good
for
theme
openings.
songs. Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Daring
Okay.
Duck of Mystery.
Right, Jokers. Hit us with an opening.
So my thesis is that I like Darkwing Duck. That's it. I think it has longevity. It's a really good send-up of superhero TV shows in the genre in general. It was pretty ahead of its time in doing that as well. It has like great characters, very memorable characters, and I like it. So that's my opening.
All right.
All right, Tiki.
So yeah, this was actually a really hard call for me because honestly, Timon and Pumbaa kind of came near the end of the Disney afternoon run, but I feel like by that point they had really perfected the cartoon formula, and I feel like Timon and Pumbaa is very much the closest that Disney afternoon ever got to a truly just madcap Nickelodeon, or not Nickelodeon, I'm sorry, Looney Tunes style show. And what I love so much about Timon and Pumbaa, what I really respect about that show, is that it takes 2 characters that are very effective comic relief in a movie where they almost come close to tonally clashing with the serious stuff going on in their movie. So to take them out of the Lion King universe literally just kind of put them in this like freewheeling, like Wile E. Coyote cartoon world where anything can happen. You know, one episode they're like, you know, luchadors at a, you know, in a bull ring or something like that, and then the next episode they're dealing with an idiot hunter, and I don't know. It's just I feel like Timon and Pumbaa really just encapsulated a lot of just freewheeling, creative cartoon energy. And I also feel like it really established Timon and Pumbaa as a brand unto itself. And this point is going to hit towards Monkey's heart. If it weren't for Timon and Pumbaa, the animated series, then people the world over would not be lulled to sleep every night at Walt Disney World with the pleasant sounds of Timon and Pumbaa's Wild About Safety videos, which are just genuinely some of the most iconic vacation videos ever made. So yeah, I'm pretty passionate about this one. I think Timon and Pumbaa really comes out ahead in a lot of regards. I feel like they really perfected the formula with that one.
All right, players, let's get mythic. Let's fight it out.
Okay. Sorry. So Timon and Pumbaa's fine. My thing is that it's very much a product of its time. It was absolutely just basically a response to Ren and Stimpy. And I think that Darkwing Duck has longevity, and I think it's just more iconic of a TV show.
Okay.
Where like Timon and Pumbaa like obviously led to stuff like The Wild About Safety and probably Circle of Life, things like that.
Also,
But I
probably
don't.
Lion King 1.5 as well, which I think everyone can agree on is like in the upper echelon of those Disney sequels.
Yes, but I wouldn't go that far. I think that Timon and Pumbaa, the TV show, I don't think Timon and Pumbaa, the TV show, really contributed to the character's popularity as much as you think it did. Because they were pretty iconic and pretty popular once after the movie came out as well. But Darkwing Duck, I feel like, is super iconic. It's very well known. I think it has better longevity than Timon and Pumbaa, the series. And I think that the characters are more... so this is going to make sense in context. I think that the characters are more iconic than Timon and Pumbaa.
Okay.
Not Timon and Pumbaa as Timon and Pumbaa, but in the sense of the TV show.
No, I hear you.
The only characters people really know from the TV show are Timon and Pumbaa and Simba, the one time he showed up. For Darkwing Duck, pretty much, like, not everyone, but a lot of people remember all of the characters, and they have for like 30 years.
Okay, my counter argument to that is I feel like with Timon and Pumbaa, the show is literally exactly what it's advertised as. You get what you pay for, and I feel like that formula is honestly flawless. Like I said, I feel like it elevates these two characters that were already iconic from The Lion King, and it takes them and it's like, okay, let's give them an environment where we can just go buck wild and just have them do whatever. And honestly, sir, I really don't agree with your Ren and Stimpy point. I really don't think the show was riding off the coattails of Ren and Stimpy. If anything, it was riding the coattails of the Lion King itself. But like I said, it was a creative way to kind of get more mileage out of that series' most popular characters without kind of like bringing in the baggage of like this epic story that's literally based on Shakespeare. Now,
Yeah,
Darkwing Duck is superhero parody, which it might be ahead of its time, conceptually speaking. That's true. My issue with it is that I've tried to go back to it a few times. I'm as nostalgic for it as a kid as you are. Believe me, I definitely grew up on it. But I gotta say, looking back, it's fun. You know, like Jim Cummings, and of course, you know, just all the voice actresses are just wonderful. But I don't know. I just feel like with Darkwing, there's a lot of repetition to it. And I'm not saying that there's not repetition with Timon and Pumbaa. I'm just saying Timon and Pumbaa goes a little bit more all over the place with it. Like you keep saying that Darkwing's got longevity, and I think the thing here is I feel like the character of Darkwing is iconic, and the character certainly has longevity, and the character of Gosling as well. But looking at it like as a show itself, I tried to watch a few episodes just to prepare for this, and I don't know, man. I don't really think they hit it out of the park. I really think that I honestly think it's like maybe a notch above DuckTales, the 1980s DuckTales series, which, was, let's face it, kind of a rough starting point for what they were trying to do with Disney Afternoon in some regards.
I mean, sorry again. Jesus Christ. So, like, my thing, Timon and Pumbaa, you're right, it's not exactly Ren and Stimpy, but it's still derivative of the formula of Ren and Stimpy, even though if it isn't exactly it. Because there were a ton of those in the 90s. Obviously, Ren and Stimpy started that. But then there was Two Stupid Dogs. There was, what was the other one, like Schnookums and whatever that Disney tried doing.
You can't even think of the third.
Timon and Pumbaa, where they did like these weird.
I don't really.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Fine,
because they did these weird out there slapstick comedy shows centered around two animal characters, where the whole point of it is basically just slapstick and weirdness. Not to say that Timon and Pumbaa wasn't great, and not to say that Timon and Pumbaa wasn't exactly Ren and Stimpy, because it wasn't. But I think it was still derivative of that concept.
I'm gonna counter you. I'm gonna counter you on both those points.
Okay.
With Ren and Stimpy, it was obviously the gross out humor, and Timon and Pumbaa certainly had fart jokes from time to time, but I feel like they didn't really lean on the gross out humor as much as.
Ren and Stimpy wasn't entirely the fart gross.
Well, humor. Yeah, but Ren and Stimpy made an art of it, though. It made an art out of the grotesque.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the humor. I'm talking about the structure.
Yeah, but I'm saying, and then I'm saying with another to do with the other thing you mentioned. I'm blanking on the other thing you mentioned. I'm sorry. I'll just wrap back around.
No, you good.
But no, I don't know. I really do feel like when I go back, like honestly, when Disney Plus first launched, and you guys can go back and get this on the record for one of the first Plus and S's that we did. Check the books on this. One of the first shows I rewatched was Timon and Pumbaa, and I was super satisfied with it. Like I blew through the first season. I really think that from a comedic point of view, I do think it holds up. I think the writing is sharp. I think that by the time they came out with that show, the writing and the production values and everything for the series had kind of like reached an echelon. Where it was this was the last great gasp of Disney Afternoon after it was almost kind of like a weird comeback right at the end after stuff like Quack Pack and the Mighty Ducks.
I mean, it might have been a comeback, but Darkwing Duck is one of the shows that really solidified the Disney Afternoon into like the upper echelons of TV.
So I guess I feel like it's a debate of like what was like what's better. A series that kind of cemented the brand, or a series that I would argue is the pinnacle of the brand, at least in terms of humor. Well,
that's the other thing, is that these two shows are just so fundamentally different. Like we're arguing a slapstick comedy against like a more like actiony.
Okay, and I'm
comedy.
arguing that with my slapstick comedy, I feel like my slapstick comedy is underrated and at the top of its game. Like near the top of its genre.
But the question...
I'm arguing that your superhero parody, while a game changer in some respects, while ahead of its time, is a pretty light superhero parody, and I feel like the lines and the running jokes do get really repetitious in Darkwing Duck.
But the question isn't what is the most underrated, it's what is the best. And I think that's Darkwing Duck because of its icon status. Like, it's so well known, it's so revered, the characters are great. I know that you said only really Darkwing Duck and Gosling are the only really remembered characters, but I disagree with that vehemently. Like, between all the villains, the villain designs are fantastic. The villain designs are very well remembered and very highly regarded. The voice acting's great. Dan Castellaneta did a fantastic job when he was in it. The bunch of times he was in it. I think the show is very ahead of its time because it beat out Batman the animated series by multiple years, I think. And still, like, it's very dark, like thematically. Obviously not content wise. But I think it touches on those subjects of like parody for superheroes before anyone else really did. and I think it did it very well. And I think sorry, I think that it showing up in DuckTales so prominently speaks to its icon status, and I think it speaks to just how
to
good
be
it
fair
was.
on that, I feel like the main reason it shows up in DuckTales prominently is that DuckTales and Darkwing Duck literally share a main supporting character.
Yeah, but if it wasn't as good, I don't think they wouldn't have showed it. They would have done that.
Yeah,
I think that if it didn't have that cult following that it does, they wouldn't have done that. Whereas Timon and Pumbaa are still popular, or so popular rather, that if it had the icon status that you think it has, they probably would have done something with it in the past 20 years.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, with Darkwing, I just feel like I don't think you could have done DuckTales without him, just because of the fact that they were going in the Disney Afternoon Cinematic Universe direction to begin with, the fact that Launchpad McQuack works with Darkwing. I mean, I just feel like it's too natural not to blend in.
With
Timon and Pumbaa, I really feel like that show really has like branched out. I feel like those characters. It's like if you watch the the Wild About Safety or whatever the hell they're called. I'm sorry, I'm going to bring my argument back to this. If you watch those, they are pretty much like almost entirely disconnected from the rest of the Lion King mythos. But at the same time, they are conveying like a really boring subject matter, which is safety in a theme park, in a way where it's just like it's the ultimate comfort food as you're lulling off to sleep.
But those aren't popular because of the Timon and Pumbaa TV show. Like if I ask like a 10-year-old if they watch the TV show, they're going to tell me no. Where if I've asked them if they've at least heard of Darkwing Duck, they probably have.
It depends on the parents.
Yeah, well, I mean, even from the reboot, they probably know what Darkwing Duck is.
No,
whereas Timon and Pumbaa,
yeah.
Well, no, I understand. Whereas for Timon and Pumbaa, like there's still that association with the movie, and I feel like the TV show has been largely forgotten. Where I feel like Darkwing Duck is still very iconic.
All right.
To a lot of people.
All right. So, by the way, just for our commenters joining us, and there got some new folks in the comments. Just say if you guys want to weigh in on any of this, you're more than welcome to. It's going to be really pivotal once we get to the speed run. You can actually call rounds in that one. But yeah, this is just kind of putting that out there. Okay, so here's where I'm coming down vote wise. I'm casting my vote for Jokers. Claude, where are you leaning?
Yeah, Jokers as well. I mean, Darkwing Duck's iconic. If the reboot of DuckTales proved that anything, it's that. So.
Okay, well, just for the heck of it, Jacob, where are you leaning?
I'll put it this way: Jokers gets 3 points.
All right.
All right, Jokers cross the board, starting off strong in our little debate here. Okay, so Jokers gets the first point. So we had some really good comments. I was trying to maybe see if we can highlight a few of
we have
those.
a lot of comments coming in. God.
Yeah.
We do. We do.
Might have been more from me.
Let's see. Of course, there's a lot of talk about Kimba in there. Not really. Apparently, the whole Kimba myth, as it appears, this whole kind of this. I gotta tell you, I'm kind of wrapped up in this comment thing about the whole Kimba thing.
Yeah, that's not true. There's a really interesting video about that.
I know. That's what they're talking about. That video.
Your movie sucks video. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours long.
I know.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet, but I just did a Google search on it. I'm gonna watch it later.
I'm very interested.
It's really good.
It is super good. I think that folks wouldn't mind if we all just sat down and watched a 2-hour, 45-minute Your Movie Sucks review right now.
Yeah, no commentary. We're just gonna watch it.
Okay. In answer to Jedi Knight's question here, and I believe I have my ears correct here. I'm pretty sure I do. He says, "I wonder if Darkwing ever took a swipe at Batman in its later seasons." And I mean, I don't think the years match up necessarily because Darkwing Duck ends in '92 and Batman starts in '92. So by that logic, I mean, even if it took any swipes, I don't know if it would have made it in time for Batman to start or not. I'm not sure. Maybe, but it would have been in its infancy. So I don't know if they were necessarily knew they were competing at that time. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was more a parody of the Burton movies than anything.
Well,
anything
is like more closer to the spirit than anything else.
Well, more like I'm talking
That's
like
true.
stuff like the Shadow and everything. Just give them the look of Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, there's definitely Shadow there.
Fun fact, though, there's a connection to Batman the Animated Series in that Alan Burnett was the one.
Good old Alan Burnett, the godfather of DC animation.
He's the one who named Darkwing Duck. Like he basically named Darkwing Duck immediately before leaving for DC.
Oh yeah, they dangled the old bat carrot, and they got old Burnett over there. Okay. All right, let's okay. Let me search for this. Let me search for our dime here, the very muy importante dime. Let's see. Let me check. Oh my God, I think I found it. Oh my, look at how amazing it looks. So heavy. Oh wait a minute. This is too prehistoric to be a dime. This is Mr. Krabs' dime. This is the wrong dime.
I've been in business a long time, boy.
Sorry, folks.
The dime, lad.
No bonus coin this round. We'll keep checking.
That was a good one, Dragon.
It's
that was
okay.
A good takeout.
All right, so we're gonna go to round 2.
All right.
And again, folks, keep the feedback coming. It might help us decide who gets points in the round. And again, later, absolutely will. So just keep that in mind. All right, round 2. So good as DuckTales 2017 was, or most of the Disney shows, some elements and characters, not always a winner. I feel we should talk about that. So here's the question: who was the worst rebooted character in DuckTales 2017?
Yeah. I have the Terrafermians.
All right, Joker's with Terrafermians.
And I have Gene the Genie.
Tiki's got Gene. E.
Well, I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, we'll see what they have to say about that. All right, Jokers.
Cool. So my thing is, I just think these characters were squandered. I thought that they were very well used, and they were better used in the original show. And I feel like they're pretty iconic designs from the original show. And then they barely showed up in their episode. So that's my thing. I just feel like they could have been used better.
Okay. Tiki?
All right, I'm going to make this simple as well. I think Gene the Genie was a pretty iconic part of the original DuckTales canon, given that he was the major focus of the movie. And then the show, not only do they only give him 1 or 2 episodes to shine at all, but we don't get any of the stuff with him trying to blend in and be Scrooge's, pal around with Scrooge and everything. We don't get any of that. We don't get anything with, basically my main problem with Gene, fundamentally, honestly, comes down to the voice. He sounds way too confident. I feel like they changed around his entire persona. I just don't like it. Shibui. Like that doesn't work. It's like with the Shibui thing, you want to have Shibui be like, Rip Taylor does it with like a ton of pent up nervous energy, like Shibui. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. This Genie is just way too confident, way too much of a spook talker. And honestly, I just feel like he's got a bigger waste of potential than the Terrafermians do. Because the Terrafermians have a cool design, but I really don't feel like they were that used in the original DuckTales. Whereas Genie, yeah, he only pops up once, but he is kind of the forgotten about DuckTales Genie that got overshadowed very quickly by the Robin Williams Genie. So I feel like he deserved his day in the sun, and he did not get it.
So,
all right, let's find out who stinks more. Have at it.
Fun fact: that's another Alan Burnett creation. The DuckTales movie was written.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. I think we all know.
Yeah, that's a big pull. Yeah,
yeah.
What's up?
Cool. Yeah.
So, your issue is your issue with the change in characterization, or is it the
It's a change
Like,
in characterization. It's a change in voice. It's a change in attitude.
Well, to be fair, Rip Taylor's dead.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm obviously, but I'm just saying, like,
Point one. No.
Hey, I'll be
Look.
the judge of that.
Damn.
I'm just saying that fundamentally, I feel like the character was modernized and given a lot more of like a, hey, everyone, I'm a cool, confident, smooth talking genie. And
But it's
go ahead.
sorry. No, finish what you were saying.
And I just don't think that works with reimagining the character like this, because I feel like the original character, like I said, the quality to him that you relate to is his attachment to Huey, Dewey, and Louie. I feel like Huey, Dewey, and Louie get more development in the actual movie than they do through any of the episodes of the original show, just based on how they interact with Gene. And so I don't know. I just feel like with this, it's like we have to have, we have the obligatory, like, all right, we're gonna recreate the Treasure of the Lost Lamp opening scene, which, you know what, that was cool. As far as I'm concerned, that scene is like the animation equivalent of the opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark. But after that, it's just kind of just like the whole episode, and I did go back and rewatch both of these, and I gotta say, with the Terra Firmians, like, the Terra Firmians just didn't leave much of an impression on me from the original DuckTales. So I thought what they did with the episode they were in was fine. And I got to admit, maybe I have a little bit of nostalgia for the Terra Firmians episode in 2017, because Rob and I did that at his house together during a trip. And I'm sure Jacob remembers us recording that. But yeah, I do have a little bit of nostalgia for the Terra Firmians episode. I'm not going to lie.
That's fair. So my question is, so aside from the characterization, is the writing for Gene bad?
Honestly, I think it's bad in terms of what you're trying to capture with the character.
But picture that Gene is its own character and he never showed up in the originals. The writing.
No. But I'm saying, like, in contrast to like all the other characters who have showed up. Like, for example,
that's fair.
For example, you have like a clip. Oh my god.
No.
I'm sorry. It keeps
Lost the word there.
Yeah, it's okay.
Kit, Cloud, Kicker. You have Kit, Cloud, Kicker, and he is like nothing like his original series counterparts. But I feel like in universe, it makes a lot of sense. In universe, it's like, okay, we get that he's kind of like this washed up Chris Pratt from Jurassic World bungalow type guy. With Gene, it's just kind of like he gets a confidence boost, and he's just like, hey, look at me, I'm cool Genie Man, shabooey. And it doesn't even feel like the same character to me. There's none of the nervous energy. When I think of the Genie from DuckTales, nervous energy is exactly the first thing I think of.
That's fair, but I feel like it's okay that they wanted to change the characterization and try to update it and differentiate.
So what exactly is so wrong with the Terra Firmians? Because you just...
Well, I was just going to get there until you rudely interrupted me.
Okay, geez.
Like I said, I just think that they're totally squandered. I think that they're a very interesting design, and they're characters that could be interesting, and I think that they were used better in the original.
Okay, I'm gonna pull your strategy.
If you let me finish, because I just barely started talking about my reasoning. It's okay. I just think that it's a crime that their episode, they show up in the last like 3 minutes. So like they're barely there. They're barely used. I think the setup is interesting, but I feel like there's more there. And I feel like DuckTales 17 is like the show that could have done more with those characters, and they just didn't. So that's my main thing.
Okay, I will counter this where is it just the design of them? Like, is
no, the design's great. I just feel like they weren't used well.
I'm saying like the appeal from the original series, because you questioned me on Gene's appeal, so I'm kind of turning it back on you. Is there anything besides the design?
No, just the way that they're used. Like, I think the design's fine. I think the design's pretty similar to how they are in the original. I just don't think they're used well because, I mean, so DuckTales, took all these characters and they did more with them. The Terraformians, like, you can do more with them, and they just didn't. I feel like the Terraformians.
My argument there is that I just really don't think that, like, with the genie, I feel like there's more that could be done, but at the same point, I feel like since he is a movie character, maybe you don't let that genie out of the bottle. You know, I feel like the continuity to me is like, yeah, I know it's a reboot, but it's so off kilter. It just doesn't feel like it's in the same sort of, like, he just doesn't feel right. Whereas with the Terraformians, it's like their designs are pretty spot on. It's like it's a waste. It's a waste of potential, but it's not necessarily like a terrible reboot.
But that's the question: is this what is worse, a waste of potential or a different characterization?
I feel like the thing that really sticks to the spirit of the question is worse characterization, because I feel like that.
But it's not worse characterization; it's worst rebooted character.
Right, but I feel like you could do a whole other question with different parameters and call it like character with the most lost potential. And there's a lot of characters on there that fit that.
Yeah, but that still falls under the same umbrella. For me, I think that Gene the Genie, so my big response to you is at least they did something with Gene.
And my big response to that is I don't like what they did with Gene, and I would have rather he just been like a background cameo or something like that.
That's fine, but I would have the opposite.
To me, his presence in this series kind of like almost diminishes his what I appreciated about him in the movie. I mean, I know I can always go back and watch the movie, but I just don't like the idea of Gene being this cocky, like, oh, hey guys, I'm a genie. Should be.
I wouldn't go that far. Like, I appreciate that they tried doing something different with the character, and I think that they were somewhat successful with that. Where the Terraformians, they didn't even begin to try. They showed up for 3 minutes. They didn't really do anything.
Yeah, no harm was done.
Their appearance was pretty inconsequential. But
no harm was done to them.
But I don't think there was any harm done to Gene and Genie. It was just a different characterization. But for the Terraformians, because they didn't do anything with it, that left me wanting more. That left me wanting them to do more with the characters, and that's never going to happen. And because of that, I think that wasted potential is worse than a different characterization that some people might not like.
Okay. All right, Jacob. Where are you leaning, buddy?
This is a tough one. They both did raise some pretty good arguments on like the difference between a character that is massively different from the original and underutilization overall. I think they both raised very good points on that one. And I think I think Joker struggled in the very beginning, but I think he gained his footing once Tiki allowed him to speak. I'm not going to entirely hold that against him, but I still think, this is my opinion, but I still think overall that I believe Tiki made a better, stronger argument regarding Gene. I mean, it's talking about like he took into the actual reboot into account, like he took the original version and the reboot into account, which I don't really recall Joker's doing that much of. Like he said, they're iconic, but he didn't really go into like explanations as to how. So my vote's for Tiki on this one.
Yeah, Jacob's voting Tiki. Claude. You win.
Interesting. Yeah, they both made good arguments, but I think I'm going with Jokers on this one.
Interesting.
Because they were barely used, so and not that memorable. And when you reboot a character, they have to be like memorable and used properly. So.
Okay, well, I'm going to break the tie here. All right, so well thought argument for sure. Very, very interesting argument as well, too. Of course, just for like with any like worst question, like mine stinks worse. Now, why is yours stink worse? Mine reeks. It's always like kind of a fun question, but no. Here's the thing.
Nobody reeks more than me.
Hey, Squidward, guess what?
We stink! Oh, God, anyway. Okay, anyway, so Here's where I'm leaning. I was in Tiki's corner, and I kind of waffled a little bit there. I was in Tiki's corner at the beginning, then I was kind of going over the Joker's side. But two statements were made that I think kind of clinched where I was leaning here. Where I heard Joker's made the point. I'm sorry, Tiki made the point in response to Joker's. No harm was done. And I honestly, it's kind of a fact where I didn't hear much against the terra firmies because there wasn't much, which is interesting. That's basically what Joker said. And when Joker said, "I was left wanting more," I felt that kind of killed the argument right there. Yeah, you were left wanting more because you were interested. Ergo, wasn't that bad? And I think Tiki, it's not just that. Tiki also had like fundamentally kind of a good foundation for his argument. He kind of gave me more about why it was kind of a violation of the character in his eyes and kind of diminished, kind of the character versus where he is in like the movie and stuff like that. I heard more egregious stuff in regards to Gene. So I'm voting Tiki, which means
All
Tiki
right.
gets a point, which means we're even. 1-1.
The episode Gene was still very good, though.
See?
Okay.
All right. Comments. Of course, we have Jedi Knight here saying, "Oh man, this question's getting heated." And yes, it was. It was getting a little heated. Let's see. Also, there's some talk about potential option. Goldie. How do you guys feel about Goldie?
Ooh.
I like Goldie. I don't
like her
mind.
too.
I don't mind what they did with her.
To be fair, I could be reaching with there being a big problem with Goldie because Jedi Knight says, from what I've read online, I'm not sure. I like what they did with Goldie. You didn't like the age. Jedi Knight didn't like the age thing or making her Scrooge's love interest. But again, he hasn't seen much of the show. So again,
but she, even in the original comics, she was always one of Scrooge's main love interests.
of course.
Mm. No, I liked it. I mean, that was the issue with this question is that I feel like there are so few characters that they really did do badly.
Would probably
What about
want that
Gladstone,
Olaf
though?
Tompkins
Doofus?
character, but I'm not familiar with the original enough to pick him.
Oh, I really like him.
What about Doofus, though?
I think Doofus is fine. Like, I don't know why you guys have problems with Doofus. I think he's fine.
I mean, he wasn't really that great in the original series to begin with.
Yeah.
That was my argument for someone like Goofus or Doofus or Gladstone is that they weren't prominent in the original either. So,
and personally, I really like Gladstone, but I'm also a big Paul F. Tompkins fan. So,
all right.
Talk about like the best redeemed character. We could easily do Gyro on that.
Yeah, Gyro, Gearless.
oh yeah.
All right, okay, so let me check the old payphone coin slot here. Let me see if I can find some dimes. And no dice because it's not the 50s. No dice.
Good. I'm glad that because Scrooge McDuck would never waste his lucky dime on a payphone. Like just the continuity of that would have driven me crazy. Dragon.
He would more like he would actually search the payphone for more dimes.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't honestly. Here's the thing. Scrooge probably would do that because we have like a more down to earth Scrooge in that new DuckTales show. But a part of me thinks Glomgold absolutely he would search every payphone without hesitation.
Glomgold definitely would. Like,
Have we ever done a show where
if I search every phone in this entire city, I will become the richest duck in the world?
We're saying jokers.
have we ever done a show where Blue Dragon 5 just hasn't found the coin? Like,
Well, not yet. It might be this show. I don't know. We'll find out.
God.
Ooh.
I haven't found it yet.
Usually,
do all these friends with sorry guys, there's no coin.
usually he always finds the coin. He just goes through like an inordinate amount of shenanigans before he does.
I don't recall it ever being on the first or second question.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, so now that moving on to the next question. Now that we've reached the end of DuckTales, it begs the question, what next?
Mm-hmm.
It brings us to round number 3. Which Disney afternoon show should be rebooted next?
Ooh.
The answer is Goof Troop.
I'm sorry. The correct answer is Gargoyles.
It's okay to be wrong.
I love both of these answers.
Oh boy, let's separate them in the ring here for a second, guys. we're not in the fight yet. We're not there yet. I want to tell you these statements. Wait, this is a civil court of debate. Before it's a knockdown, drag out, ugly fight like divorce court.
I'll call my lawyer. It'll be great.
I live again.
Again, yeah.
Again? Okay.
Cool. We good?
Opening statement. Yeah.
Yeah. We need more Goofy. Where's Goofy? I've been waiting for Goofy for 10 years. I haven't seen nothing of Goofy. Same with Max. I want Goof Troop. Give it to me now.
Take a shot every time you just said Goofy.
That's my opening statement.
We need him sober for this thing, Jacob. What are you thinking?
No, we don't.
We don't. We probably shouldn't die.
Yeah.
If it wasn't noon, I'd probably be drinking.
But it's technically afternoon.
You're right. Yeah.
All right, okay, Tiki.
Okay, so my pitch for Gargoyles is very simple. It would be the third phase of the Disney Afternoon Cinematic Universe after the Darkwing Duck show, and it would bring back Manny, everyone's beloved fan favorite from the DuckTales show, and have him integrate himself back into the Gargoyle Society. And Goliath would almost kind of be like the tough but fair mentor, where it's like, you know, he sees potential in Manny, but he keeps him at an arm's length. I feel like Manny being kind of like the voice of the audience in terms of like being an entry level into the world of the Gargoyles would be really neat. And I also feel like Gargoyles, just by their very premise, kind of introduces, like, I don't think the crossover stuff would be as strong as it was in DuckTales, but I do think you could have some crossover potential with, you know, with, like, let's say a tailspin or something like that, you know, like, or a magic bending spell. Like, I do think there is room to grow this universe into a more mythic direction with a Gargoyle show. And just for the reference, if it's not clear already, in Jokers, I would like to know one way or another on yours. Mine is absolutely 100% in the Disney Afternoon Cinematic Universe canon.
No, I know. Mine is not, and I think that a big issue with yours is that it is. And I understand I understand that there was a crossover, but I don't think Gargoyles. Like, if you're gonna do a Gargoyles reboot, you should make it dark. You should make it proper Gargoyles. And I think that by putting it within the Disney Afternoon universe, the Disney After universe, if you will, I feel like that's kind of squandering that. I feel like that's kind of diluting what Gargoyles could be.
I feel like what I'm doing with Manny is I'm kind of making it a little bit more digestible. Like, you're still gonna have like the, you know, it's essentially what Marvel did with, you know, like kind of opening up to more dark and mature films and more mythic subject matter.
Yeah, but I feel like Gargoyles can be like an adult show. It's old enough, and the fans are old enough, where I feel like if they're going to do that with anything, Gargoyles is the show to do that with. Goof Troop, however, like I said, like, we haven't really seen anything with Goofy, and especially Max, in a very long time. And I think that now, especially with the way that Disney Plus is structured, with their model, I think that Goof Troop would do really well on Disney Plus, and it'd be great to see those characters again. And I think that sitcoms as a whole are at a place where Goof Troop could do something fresh with the concept and with the structure of modern sitcoms, whereas Goof Troop originally was kind of like 90s sitcom send up. I just feel like it's time for a Goof Troop reboot. I think it's very easy to do it. I think there are a lot of ways to do it, and I think it would work really well on Disney Plus.
Okay,
Right.
My pitch is kind of like my fan casting, like my fan fiction of what it would be. But I just think with Gargoyles, it's like, you're right, just in general, it's very, very malleable. The concept is very malleable. Like, I've heard a lot of people talking like they love a live action Disney Plus series. And honestly,
There were rumors of like a Jordan Peele movie.
Yeah, and honestly, I totally count that as like a reboot. So it's like,
I agree.
So I do have silly fan casting, and I do want the Disney Afternoon Cinematic Universe to continue. I'm honestly kind of desperate for that to happen. But just going based off of the IP itself, I think mine, like we already talked about Darkwing versus Timon and Pumbaa, And I just think Gargoyles, it's like Goof Troop has staying power because of Goofy movies. But I really think that for a Goof Troop movie to work, you'd have to lean so hard into the Goofy movie nostalgia that it would almost just become a Goofy show.
I don't agree at all.
I feel like that's the danger that you would that you would face with it. I feel like that would be where Disney would want to take it, because Goofy movie is definitely the most successful thing related to that franchise. And
so
yeah.
My thing is Goof Troop, I feel like is the type of show that no one would think to want until Disney said that they were making it, and then everyone would go apeshit, and it would probably do really, really well. And like I said, I don't think it's as connected to the Goofy movie as you think it is. I think they can still differentiate. I think that the characters from Goof Troop that didn't show up in the movies are rounded enough where it would work really well, especially in a modern setting. Like, just having like Pete's family in a modern setting would be really cool, and I think it would do really well. Whereas like Gargoyles is great. I like Gargoyles, but I feel like Goof Troop has a wide enough appeal where it would do really, really well on Disney Plus, where Gargoyles would be cool. I don't like the direction that you're pitching Gargoyles, but no, that's the thing is that. Disney Plus is a place for family shows. And I understand that your pitch is kind of getting closer to family than I think Gargoyles should be.
Because everyone knows that something like Falcon Winter Soldier or WandaVision is like a
But this is a
totally
cartoon.
family-friendly show.
Disney hasn't really done like a violent
Yeah,
cartoon,
and you literally
like,
just made your
cartoon
argument with my like I'm not saying I'm 100% married to my Disney Afternoon tie-in. I'm saying like for the IP in general, I'm not abandoning my Disney Afternoon pitch. And I'm saying like my IP is very malleable. And I
understand that.
And you did say specifically that this is an adult IP with an adult audience. So honestly, if Disney Plus wants to make this like, you know, a mini series or whatever, like I honestly think it has the audience for that. I personally would like to see a different take on the IP. I think one of the problems with the cartoon for me is that it is a little bit too dark and broody, and I would like a character in there like a Manny to, you know, kind of be a voice of the audience type character. I honestly think the original show kind of lacks that a little bit. But no, I just think that with Gargoyles, there's just a shit ton you can do with it. And with Goof Troop, you've basically just got ripping on sitcom tropes. And we already have a show about ripping on sitcom tropes.
I mean, that's very different from Goof Troop.
Is Goof Troop gonna have a fucking like?
That's kind of bad faith.
Is Goofy gonna go through an existential crisis about losing Mrs. Goofy and?
Yeah, it's gonna change genres every episode, and it's gonna be Goof Troop starting with like the Honeymooners, and it's gonna go all the way up to the Goldbergs.
The Goof Troop changing genres every episode. I would be totally down for that. To be fair.
My point being is that Goofy
it just
like
ends with like fucking like Brickleberry style.
My point being is that Goofy, like, geez, stop that. It ends with Border Town. I think Goofy really needs something. I think people really want something that's Goofy centric. Where I feel like Gargoyles is very niche, and while there is. Let me finish. I'm talking about Goofy, not the Mickey Mouse cartoons with Goofy. Where I feel like Gargoyles Gargoyles is pretty niche. Where I know it's niche. I was just doing all the pronunciations for our audience. I feel like I feel like there's a smaller audience for Gargoyles, and while a reboot could probably bring a larger audience, I think that Goofy is more of like a sure bet.
Okay.
So like Goofy would always do well. And like I said, Goof Troop I feel like is something that people would really like, even if they aren't like consciously thinking like, wow, I would love a Goof Troop reboot. I think that if they did it, it would do exceptionally well, and it would give us more Goofy, which I think that people want. And I think that it just feels something. It feels more like something that Disney would do than Gargoyles, because Gargoyles is pretty niche.
At this point, I feel like Disney would lean more into let's reboot Goofy movie. Let's turn Goofy movie into a TV show. Let's remake Goofy movie.
Well, I mean, if they're making Goofy a TV show, that's basically Goof Troop. So why wouldn't they just do Goof Troop? And again, Goofy and Goof Troop are more of a sure bet than Gargoyles is. So I feel like because of that, it's more realistic for Disney to reboot. Whereas obviously there's a fan movement for a Gargoyles reboot. And there's people saying that they want a Gargoyles reboot, but it's still pretty niche. Like I don't know.
I just feel like there's a lot more creative potential behind Gargoyles for one thing.
I disagree. I think it can take Goof Troop a lot of places.
Okay.
Question, Tiki. Would Manny also be voiced by Keith David in addition to Goliath?
You better believe it.
All right, I'm good with that.
So
It'd be like an older
them?
brother. It'd be like an older brother, younger brother dynamic.
Can't have enough Keith David.
Mhm.
Alright. Okay, so Claudie,
Ooh,
where are you leaning?
ooh, this is a tough one.
Yeah, that's why they give us the fancy black robes.
Yeah, both good options and both good arguments. Hmm. I guess Goof Troop?
Okay, that is a vote for Jokers.
Yeah, Jokers. Yeah.
All right, so for me, I am also voting Jokers.
Okay,
Jeez, cool.
fair enough.
Jacob.
Not that it matters, I'm also voting for Jokers.
Really?
Again, it's a sandwich round. Oh my
Okay.
god, it's a sandwich tonight,
Yeah.
folks.
Let's just say, though, I'm speaking that purely based on argument, not preference.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather see a Gargoyles show too, but I'd be really happy to see Goof Troop.
Yeah, argument and preference are both my reasonings. And if
That's
Roxanne's in the Goof Troop show, too. If she
Oh,
shows
that,
up.
yeah, that's a good point.
And to tell you the truth, I feel like I shot myself in the foot with my whole fan fiction. Like Manny,
Yeah, Manny did
No,
not,
I-
Manny didn't
yeah.
help you, Tiki, in my eyes.
I know.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, look at the comments. Okay, so Josh, I want to say Lemire. Is it Lemire or Lemmer?
I thought it was more like Lamer or something.
Maybe. Anyway, so also clarify if you want us to get it right, Josh. Josh, let's just say Lemire for the time being. Josh Lemire says, a Gargoyles reboot makes sense, making a spin-off of...
DuckTales.
Oh, no, DuckTales 2017. Oh, that's what that means. Okay. DuckTales 2017 is a really bad idea, in my opinion. I think. Oh, he clarifies, in my opinion. But also, he goes on to say...
Internet Movie Database.
Yep.
there was a bit about
It's
Elisa
Lemire.
Mazda I thought was really good. I think... can't really...
Lemur.
Lieber.
Oh, it is Lemur. Okay. There's a thing about Elisa Mazda, basically saying Elisa Mazda would be the better POV character. Somewhere.
Eliza. It's Eliza.
Oh, sorry, it's been a while. Eliza.
And he
Well,
is
she
right.
is the POV character. She's the POV character in Gargoyles, but I just wanted to change it up a little. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, like, like let's trade off, her for Mandy. It's anyway. The point being, it's all said and done. So, do you want to go with the coin we know we're getting, or do you want to search yet again?
You know what? Search.
Okay, let's take a little. Okay, I'm going to reach in the old pocket here because we start off with Mr. Krabs. Let's see if it actually is in my back pocket this time. And oh my God, I got it! Success! I found
God.
the dime.
Finally.
Oh shit!
I found the almighty red dime.
Thank God. You had me
Oh,
going
my
for a
God.
second. I'm gonna flip it. We're gonna see what happens. I'm here to have fun.
Let's see, and it is
Hey!
heads. Joker's now has 3 points on the board.
Hooray!
Tiki's got 1. So now we're gonna go to the coin that is guaranteed, the optional coin for this round. So just the coin from the McDuck Vault, guys. Who's feeling lucky?
Mm-hmm.
I am not.
Good.
Okay.
Just end it right now.
I'll do it.
Yeah, Tiki's
Yes,
doing it.
okay, good.
Hey!
All right,
look at you.
all right.
Fortune
Can you-
favors the bold.
can you
It's 2
imagine-
to 3.
Can you just imagine though if Joker's won all 3 points and then one and then
No, I
one
could
both-
imagine a scenario where Joker flips again, gets 4 points, and then I flip and get tails. I
Yeah.
can imagine that's that scenario.
Not just
Okay.
tails.
I
You would
was
have got tail
I was-
spin.
I was like what I was going with, like he would win 3 points in the round, and then win the coin toss twice
No.
and win the game immediately.
Oh god.
No,
oh
no
god,
Wheel of
yeah.
Fox, nothing. It was just over.
Okay, guys. We're going to transition to the really exciting part of tonight's program. So we're going to enter the speed
Are we
round.
gonna need the coin again, Dragon, for anything?
No, we're not going to.
Remember, this is what separates the men
What about the-
from
What about the
boys.
randomizer?
No randomizer. You can get rid
No,
of that.
okay.
This round is what separates the men from the boys.
That is true. Yes. Anyway, so the speed round, the way it works is for the new people joining us. Basically, there's 30 seconds on the clock, followed by a 15-second rebuttal. They can use the 15-second rebuttal. They can use the 15 seconds any which way, they like. You traditionally uses like a rebuttal to the claims made within the 30 seconds. That's pretty much how it goes here. There's the age-old kind of like the clock's ticking kind of tension going on here. So the audience says, there's the news where I get to rock the guys' worlds, everyone's worlds here. So guys, many of our audience members that are with us here tonight have submitted questions in advance.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So they've submitted questions in advance, which makes up the
Wow.
majority of our speed round questions, along with like the one that
Okay.
you guys have been kind of primed for somewhat. And we are also taking live questions. We have some room for some live questions. So if anyone like has one they really kind of have come up with in the moment they'd like read, I mean, put it in there. We'll try to get it in there. I mean, it should. We usually make an effort to, but given that we have some in advance and given you guys are here, we'll see what happens. Otherwise, we're open to questions, and also because you guys are here, again, we might turn the deliberation over to the audience, as in like the people who wrote these questions, assuming they're here, they can actually call who the round winner is.
Okay.
Is there going to be a Muppet question?
I have a Muppet question. The question is, will we get to it or not? So,
It's always obligatory at this point.
of course, I got a Muppet question. I always got a Muppet question.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
feel
one
like
thing
it
I
is
do know about.
obligatory. We do need to make sure we get to the Muppet question.
Anyway, so let's start. Let's start with the wheel question.
Okay.
Wheel of Ducks.
Wheel of Fox.
Wheel of Ducks. Anyway, so Wheel of Ducks. We got 10 duck characters on this wheel. You spin the wheel, you get a duck.
Oh,
Which,
Della's
one,
not on this list, is she? Oh, she is. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, she
which
is.
one of them was just a regular duck?
So the winner of the last round, which
One of
the
them should be the
Jokers,
Affleck duck.
Well, that's a regular non-anthropomorphized duck.
It's
Wheel
just
of Disney
it's just a
Ducks,
duck.
all right. Wheel of Disney Ducks. Happy.
Add a duck.
Anyway,
That says Affleck.
Yeah, I know. It says Affleck.
Alright, so
Like
these
that,
guys-
like the Ben Affleck duck.
Fine.
How about the duck?
can we refocus, please?
We're doing Affleck duck is a fucking whammy. God damn it! All right.
Okay.
Get that out of there. What are you doing? Get it out of there.
What's the
No.
question? I'm ready.
Well, we need to assign the ducks first.
Finally, my day to whip out my Affleck knowledge.
We assign the ducks, and then we reveal the question.
Oh, that's true.
All right.
Spin the wheel.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's the winner of the
Is
previous
this for
round gets
Jokers or
first.
for me?
Well, Jokers, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first. I don't care.
Okay, then he will. Then Jokers is going to go first, and then we're going to spin the wheel first for Jokers.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever duck
Oh
you
god,
land on,
that
you're
got so
stuck.
close to Affleck.
Scrooge McDuck.
Got the obvious one.
Wait, which one are you
Dragon,
talking
do
about?
you want me to
The
take
new
away
one or the old one?
Affleck?
What?
Do you want me to take away Affleck?
Yes, I very much want you to take away Affleck. I
Okay,
didn't want you
all
to
right.
put Affleck there in the
Affleck's
first
gone.
place, you
Affleck's
maniac.
gone. All right. All right, Affleck's gone.
Anyway,
Oh,
let's see what Tiki got. Then I'm going to reveal what the question is.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna get Launchpad first.
I thought you were gonna get Magica for a sec.
I think I am. getting
Oh,
Launchpad.
you did it!
Launchpad.
You got the one I told you.
McDuck and Mc. We have McDuck and McQuack.
Okay, now guys, here's the question. Okay,
All
now
right.
you've been assigned your ducks. Which Disney duck should cross over with Marvel's Howard the Duck?
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, you bought Howard the Duck.
Oh.
Basically, you're telling me what's the
Okay.
better crossover here. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. I got it. Jokers, do you go first? Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes
Okay.
first when he speaks.
Go ahead.
30 seconds, then 15 seconds.
30. Okay, cool. So I think that Scrooge McDuck is a good character to act as a client towards Howard, and I just think he'd be a really good side character to go like on an adventure with Howard. That was a badly structured sentence. I feel like he can do a lot more with Scrooge than he can with Launchpad, because Scrooge is literally just a character that has limitless potential. And I think it'd be a lot of fun to have a crossover with Scrooge and Howard, going on adventures, solving mysteries, doing whatever else the DuckTales theme song says.
Rewrite history.
Yes, rewriting. Thank you. Rewriting history.
Count for you, though.
They rewrite the timeline, and then Howard the Duck is a DuckTales character.
All right.
No, that was a part of it.
I think Launchpad McQuack is the perfect character to cross over with Howard the Duck because they are such opposites of each other. Howard the Duck is like a cynical, cigar chomping asshole, and Launchpad McQuack is just like this geeky, like head in the clouds optimist. And so I just think you pair the two of them up on a case. Maybe Launchpad's got information that Howard needs to get out of Launchpad, but he has to stick with him in order to get it. I think it'd be wonderful.
1 second. So my thing is that I feel like you're just describing like a few panels of a comic where I feel like a Howard the Duck, Scrooge McDuck thing could be like a proper series. Because like I said, the potential is limitless for Launchpad's pretty one note, and I feel like they're very opposite from each other anyway, Scrooge and Howard.
Jokers, I'm literally describing a buddy cop comedy. That's literally the pitch of the show. Is that at least for like one season, Howard and Launchpad will get mixed up intrinsically. Like they would definitely be like co-leads in this hypothetical.
This isn't a rebuttal. I just want to say that I misunderstood because it sounded like you're explaining a joke, and that was like the only interaction that they have. But yeah.
All right.
That's not
All
a
right.
rebuttal. I just want to say that why
Yes. Very good. So, Jacob, I'm going to let you call this one, buddy.
In all honesty, though, I think that, you guys might not forgive me on this, but I'm going to give Tiki the answer for this one. Like, I honestly think he did present like a stronger argument overall for like why Launchpad and Howard would work well together. Like, I can honestly imagine them working well together rather than basically I can just imagine seeing them together be a lot more entertaining than him and Scrooge being together.
Okay, so it's tied up right now. It's 3-3.
All right. That's what I like to hear.
He's got 3. Joker's got 3. So now we're going to go. Should we just get the Muppet question out of the way?
Yes.
Or should we go to our. Okay, we're going to do this, and the rest is all going to be.
Bring on Muppet.
All going to be pre-written after that point.
Are you on Les Muppets?
Okay, let's see. All right, Muppet question.
The Muppets.
Which DuckTales character would make the best Muppet? As in, I'm talking like fabrication, the whole thing. You got to think of like turning a DuckTales character into a full-on Muppet.
Oh god.
Launchpad McQuack.
He's got Launchpad.
Glomgold.
Ooh.
Joker's has Glomgold.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sold on Glomgold.
All right.
So I've always loved Launchpad's design. I just think those super angular, like football players' shoulders mixed with the skinny legs would make a really funny puppet. The pelican beak and everything. I just think visually it'd really stick out. I could see Launchpad and Gonzo having like a rivalry with each other as fellow daredevils. I just think Launchpad's kind of like high head in the sky attitude just fits well with the Muppets in general. I really just think it'd work well.
So if we're talking about it from the design elements, I think that Glomgold lends himself better to a Muppet than Launchpad does. Just because he's rounder, I feel like it would work better like in the medium. Personality-wise, I think Glomgold has like the zaniness that fits Muppets. Like he's such a weird character that I think he would fit the Muppets very well with that. But yeah, I mean, I would like he's like a JP Gross sort of character, but more out there, and I think it could work very well.
I honestly think Glomgold would be like a little bit too disruptive for Muppets. It's like I feel like he would not play well with others, and that would not translate. What I love about my choice is that he is kind of a mix of like the Fozzie Bear optimism mixed with the Gonzo Daredevil qualities.
I mean, the Muppets are meant to be disruptive, so I think that Glomgold fits within that. I don't think that Glomgold. I just don't think it's for Launchpad either. I don't think Glomgold would be like a character that's there all the time, but I think he could work really well and play off of the Muppets a little bit better than Launchpad could.
Okay, I'm leaning a certain way, but I'm gonna let Claudie decide.
Ooh, okay.
I know who I'm
It's all tied up now at the moment.
I know my pick.
I know mine, but it's
I know
Claudie's
mine.
hands. It's on a higher power's hands right now.
Yeah, Glomgold.
Okay.
Actually, my pick too.
Hey.
Me too, honestly.
Hey!
It should just be funny, and he's destructive like the Muppets can be sometimes. So.
And Jokers, I was absolutely thinking about the whole JP Gross
Yeah.
thing too. It was like, yeah, it'd be kind of perfect.
Specifically the 2017 version, because the original Glomgold is a lot different from the.
Oh,
yeah,
no, I
of
was
course.
absolutely
I mean,
talking about the 2017 version.
Oh, the 2017 one's awesome.
Yeah.
Flint Heart Glomgold.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna go with some pre-written, and again, folks, you want to write in some extras? By all means, we'll use them. But let's start with that Jedi Knight you know, which I'm going to take the leap that Jedi Knight in the comments is the same person who submitted the question. So fingers crossed on that. Anyway, so that Jedi Knight you know submit the question: which Disney movie would make the best Disney series that hasn't gotten one already? And so I'm gonna the ones that have been announced are also off the table. I'm talking like we already have Big Hero 6. They've announced Moana. They've announced Princess and Tiana with Princess and the Frog. We have Tangled. Zootopia's coming. So those are all off limits.
So every movie in the last 10 years.
You can't do Little Mermaid or Hercules or Aladdin also.
No, you can't do Little Mermaid. You can't do Hercules. So that's where it's a thinker.
Or the Lion King, which just had like
Raya.
Okay, Tiki's got Raya.
Give me
nice.
1 second.
Yeah, Lion King has 2. Yeah.
The Lion King has like 4.
Yeah, there's too many, but yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Black Cauldron.
Ooh. Black Cauldron.
Nice.
Right.
All right, now we're off to the race. Okay, remember. Okay, so we also have it confirmed. Yes, Jedi Knight is the Jedi Knight you know. So good old Jedi Knight. Anyway, so Jedi Knight, listen, remember, you're going to call this round, so you're going to vote on who sold you most at the end of this. So you'll let us know, and that'll determine the points. So again, right now, the way the points are, Jokers has 4, Tiki's got 3. So if Jokers wins this, we go home early.
And it's based on the strength of the argument.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay.
Not necessarily your personal preference.
Of course. All right. So whenever Tiki starts speaking.
Okay. I thought Raya and the Last Dragon was a pretty damn underrated film. I think it had a lot of great world building, a lot of ideas, a lot of fantastic characters and atmosphere. And all of that could be translated beautifully into an animated series. I honestly think it's rich for the taking. Like the movie could basically be the pilot episode at that point. Not to take away from the movie, but I just think that whole world, that whole atmosphere, the whole mythology would fit so much better in a more long-form narrative.
Cool. So I think that the Black Cauldron, it needs a redemption. The movie had issues. But also, I think that the Black Cauldron as a TV series could really be a turning point in Disney television animation, where it could be like a serialized TV show that's kind of grander, more like almost like a Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, because there's a ton that you could do with that universe. Where I feel like a Raya show would basically just be every other Disney TV show ever made. But I think that Black Cauldron, they could really make something special and definitely do something different.
First of all, I'm really sick of Game of Thrones style shit is the big draw for network TV, so I just don't want that with Black Cauldron. I just think that Black Cauldron is not relevant at all to Disney. I think Raya is a property that Disney knows they could probably do more with, and I feel like they'd love a shot at it.
Notice how I specifically did not say Game of Thrones. I think so. Like Raya's, it's cool, but I think that Black Cauldron could really be something special, and people have been asking for something new with Black Cauldron for like years since the movie was so iffy.
I can't believe I actually did see Game of Thrones.
I did that purposely.
All right, Jedi Knight, where are you leaning, buddy?
All right, and also he says he hasn't seen Raya, but
It's okay, neither have I.
I don't think you
just
spoiled anything,
arguments
did you?
about things they haven't seen all the time on movie fights. And
Very
yes,
true.
that's true. So,
Well, anyway, so while we wait, I'm going to say this for the next question. All right.
Okay.
Well, assuming we have a next
if
question.
the next
then.
question doesn't, oh god, yes, I guess I have to.
All right.
All right,
Could you-
gives it to Raya. Cool.
Boo.
Okay, Raya gets it.
Thank you, Jedi Knight. Thank you.
So
My argument was better. Boo.
Right. Four to
I think
four
what
right
would
now.
strengthened your argument is if it like made it like more like it drew more from the entire series, the Chronicle of the Prydain series.
I had 15 seconds. What are you
But yeah, it was 45 seconds. You could have just mentioned it briefly.
All right.
That's fair.
All right. So it looks like the next one's going to win it here.
Yeah, the next one's gonna decide all the bacon.
Okay. Now, unless you guys are feeling up to an exhibition run after this next one, just to make
I'm
sure
up
we
for
don't.
an exhibition.
I have all day. It's
Okay,
12:30.
so-
The only thing on my docket is Kingdom Hearts 2.
All right, so in that case, because we have an extra question here, I definitely want to get in. So I think what we're going to do is we'll save that one for the exhibition, Rep.
All right.
'Cause he's not here, so we're going to use. If I'm correct, Josh Leamer, you are Josh Go Lakers. Am I correct in that? Hopefully confirmed. Yes. Okay, this is perfect. I'm going to use Josh's question here. All right, so Josh wrote in with, what other Disney cartoon series do you improve most by adding David Xanatos as the new big bad? I love this question, by the way. That's why I wanted to get it in there.
I hear Evan Googling. I'm gonna call him
Yeah.
out. because
I have no
need
idea who the
to
fuck this
too.
is. What are you
I
talking
don't
That
either.
about?
guy from Gargoyles.
Okay,
David
good.
Xanatos.
Okay, you don't know who it is either. Okay, that makes me feel.
Yeah, no, I don't. David, what is it?
It's the bad guy from.
Zanatos.
It's
Xanatos.
XA. It's
Xanatos.
XA.
Yeah,
Like with an
XA,
X.
right? XA, right? No.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, he's like made famous for actually being one of the few people to say the word hell in a Disney cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like pay a man.
Oh,
enough.
I know who this guy is. Okay,
Jonathan
okay,
Frakes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
what was the question?
any Disney animated show or just
That's
just
any Disney. Any Disney.
So,
series,
so
period.
what Disney animated series would be improved by adding?
The House of Mouse.
All right, Joker says.
Pay a man.
Fuck.
If you want barefooted to the House of Mouse.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna take the easy answer and say Gravity Falls.
All right.
Okay, am I going first?
House of
Yes,
Mouse
you're going
versus
first.
versus Gravity Falls.
All right, picture this. He's in the House of Mouse, and he's just trying to have a meal. And the goddamn fucking gargoyles, they burst in and they just start beating the shit out of him. And he's like, I'm just trying to have an evening. I'm just trying to get through my night. I'm here to watch cartoons. I'm here to have a good meal. And you come in here, you don't have reservations. They didn't let you in here. You burst in through the window. What are you doing here? This is my night off.
Oh my
And
god!
that's how it goes. That's what.
Wow.
I'm going to remind Josh. Yes, you're going to call this round, okay? Just remember that. You're calling this round.
I'm suddenly reminded of Sandy right now.
Okay.
That's totally
Josh,
what
I'm so sorry I don't have a more interesting response, but like I feel like my idea at least works into the fabric of the show more. Like
So does mine.
like Gravity Falls is all about like conspiracy theories and weird like cryptoid shit. This guy is a government agent that very much kind of like explores that territory. I feel like him coming into Gravity Falls is just supernatural and it's natural. It's a very natural transition. fucking super. Anyways, that's my argument.
I love anytime Dean Winchester can enter an argument, but go on.
So my thing is that these TV shows never explore what they do outside of the evil. So like why can't David Xanatos just have a night of relaxation before he gets the shit beat out of him? Like I don't understand like why we don't explore this, and I think that would be an interesting place to take this character.
Oh God.
I think your idea is freaking hilarious. I will give you credit there, but I think it works better as a robot chicken sketch than it does a House of Mouse sketch. I think it's way too cynical and violent for House of Mouse.
Okay, so Josh, again, you've heard the
Agree to
argument.
disagree.
And Xanatos is more of a businessman than a government agent.
See?
Also, very rarely ever gets the crap beat out by the gargoyles. So
There's still time to start.
Let's just say this: even when he loses, he wins.
basically, okay, just for
Goliath
shorthand, just so
literally
you guys know.
No, Goliath literally beats him up and steals his lunch money, and the lunch money is literally the money that he would use to pay for his lunch at the House of Mouse.
Okay,
So then he
just-
calls the Illuminati, and then we have House of Mouse. It works great. It's
Right, so
perfect.
just in general, just David Xanatos is pretty much Gargoyles Lex Luthor. That's pretty much.
No, I get it. I
Basically,
I haven't seen Gargoyles in a very long time.
I can tell.
even if Xanatos loses, he gains something.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
we have a ruling. Okay, Tiki, put it on the screen.
Okay.
House of Mouse pitch was hilarious,
It was very funny.
but I felt like he was grasping because he didn't really know anything about
Absolutely
the character.
not. I have a very strong grasp on this character.
I think
Okay.
you and me probably have equal grasps on the character, honestly.
Okay, but anyway, so basically, Tiki got close with the schemer notion. So Gravity Falls wins, which means Tiki again. It was kind of like it was kind of like
It's so stupid.
it was very much like a skin of their teeth kind of argument for the ending there. Like, both are equally unprepared and inept on the subject.
Neither of you understood Xanatos at all.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. But I was seriously, Josh had an excellent question. I just want to highlight that.
I mean, it was a great question. I'm sorry we couldn't do it justice.
All right. I figured with gargoyles being used as one of the at least one of the two of you.
I've been watching Kim Possible, and I think that he would be good in that series.
I know that's what my choice would have been, but
House of Mouse. JoJo Circus.
honestly, that could have worked. House of Mouse, but anyway. Okay, so
You're
we're
to
an
see
exhibition
David
now.
Xanatos and Roly Poly Oly.
Oh God.
Okay, now we're just getting plain silly here. Okay. All right, so Rohit Dahar, who couldn't be here in the live comments, but again, in advance submitted a question. I feel all these guys submitted multiple questions, but I kind of picked the best of the bunch for them, at least the ones that would suit us here.
So this is like the exhibition. Doesn't like Tiki officially won, but this is just like an extra match.
Yeah, Tiki officially won. I just want to get Rohit's question in there for the
But
heck
I
of it.
won the audience hearts.
I win.
That's debatable.
Yeah.
Ha! Nice.
Let's debate it. Tiki, I think I won the audience's
No. no.
I mean, honestly, like it was a solid joke, Evan. I don't know what to tell Dragon and Claude here. It was a solid joke.
I mean, it reminded me of like a Sandy answer.
Yeah.
Oh, I still think that Sandy's Donald Duck on New Year's Eve answer was like one of my favorite Disney debate moments.
Oh yeah, it's like he just like wants to party with Donald Duck New Year's Eve just to see it go wrong.
That was inspired, man. That was an inspired approach.
Oh yeah.
The Jedi Knight has a really fun thing. Here's my House of Mouse pitch. Judy Hopps meets Captain Jack Sparrow. The obvious joke ensues, I think you mean to say.
All right.
But anyway, so exhibition questions again from Rohit Dahar. Great guy. Rohit Dahar says, which is the better continuation and or spin-off series? I mean, anyway you slice this, a continuation in the form of a spin-off series. Aladdin or Hercules?
Aladdin.
Aladdin. Ah, damn it. Hercules.
Yeah, Joker's got Aladdin.
Joker's got Aladdin, and he's going first.
Yeah.
For some reason, isn't on Disney Plus yet.
That's weird.
Said, wait, are you sure Aladdin's still not? I thought last time I checked, I don't know.
Series? Nope. Last time I checked, the series still isn't on Disney Plus.
Let's find
I
out.
looked at it.
Aladdin. I don't know how to spell Aladdin. It is not.
No.
Technically, it is because one of the
yeah.
movies is.
Return of Jafar is, but
Yeah,
You know,
And the
lazy
live action
pilot,
movie is,
you know.
but not the series.
I guess.
All right.
it's weird. Okay.
they need to put the originals. They need to put the series on there. The series is amazing.
Mm.
So my argument is that Jacob just said it. The series is amazing. It's really good. It's a really solid continuation from the movie. The characters are very well written. The new characters are really great. I just really like the show. It's real good. It really sticks to the spirit of the movie. And I don't really know what else to say other than it's really good because it is. It feels just like the movie. It keeps the tone, the mood, and the everything. I really like it. It's a fun show.
I feel like Aladdin had all its cards lined up for it, whereas Hercules was an underdog, but in true underdog fashion, I feel like the Hercules show is the better show because while the animation is maybe not as impressive, I feel like they got the tone of the series down. And I think that Hercules really goes all out exploring the Greek mythology angle and exploring kind of like the the Greek god in high school angle, and I feel like it's got a lot of Donner Superman upside to it. It's far more original than Aladdin.
You can say it went the distance.
So Hercules might be more original than Aladdin, but I feel like Aladdin stuck more true to the movie than Hercules did. I also feel like the writing is more solid. I feel like the characters were a bit better. Because I don't know, the characters in Hercules were fine, but I think Aladdin was just a better show in general.
I think Aladdin is very much a watered down product of the original, whereas I feel like Hercules went in its own direction with things, and that's where I would differentiate the two. And because Hercules went with its own direction and the movie itself is already freewheeling, I think Hercules wins out.
Okay, before we deliberate here, I just want to say in the comments, I'm really very interesting has been said here. Josh Lemer here says, I actually know someone who works at Disney Plus in that exact department, essentially kind of an archives or basically kind of building the library. I can actually help us with this. So this is a really big opportunity, Josh. Grab a pen and paper.
Oh boy.
Fast.
Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
3 shows and then add whatever you want. Okay, it's 3. Okay, just Buzz Lightyear, Star Command, Legend of Tarzan, and Fillmore. Okay,
Yes.
Write those 3 down,
And also,
please.
and obviously Aladdin.
And yes, then Aladdin, but those 3, then Aladdin.
Yeah, I would say those
And House of
three are
Mouse
like
too.
Wait,
House of Mouse.
House of Mouse.
Guys,
Like-
let's not get greedy though. Let's not
Okay,
get
I-
greedy.
We need those lost Timo Supremo episodes. God damn it!
But again, in terms of like series, Buzz Lightyear has an uphill battle because they're kind of trying to bury it at the moment. So we got Buzz Lightyear, Star Command,
another school
Legend of
name,
Tarzan, and Fillmore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely Fillmore and Aladdin.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I'm
we
surprised
got-
House of Mouse is not on there yet though, because it's
Same.
well, that's inevitable. They're eventually going to get to House of Mouse. I'm not worried about that.
I really need that David Xanatos.
Release the
Scene.
Mortimer cut.
The Mortimer.
Okay, so I guess in terms of deliberation, I'm leaning towards Tiki, but guys, anyone want to sway me on this?
No, I mean, I think that, I mean, based on strength of argument, I do believe that Tiki did make the stronger arguments. Like, is that how he did? Like, I mean, as much as I love the Aladdin series, I do agree that the Hercules series did kind of do its own thing. I mean, while obviously the big fish in little pond, big man on campus has been explored before, I think they did a unique angle with the whole Greek thing. So I kind of see why Tiki would go with the whole. It's a more original approach than just continuing the adventures of Aladdin.
Claudie?
Yeah, Hercules, yeah.
Okay, I think we're all agreed then. Josh also mentions he didn't mention James Woods in his Hercules argument. Yeah, man, what's up? With that?
Yeah, that was strategy, Josh. That was strategy.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah,
got
seriously,
James
Josh,
Woods
we
to come back, so.
I was mainly joking about like the whole laundry list thing, but if you can put a word in though, we can buzz.
Exactly.
I mean, look, I love James Woods Hades. All right, I love him. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that the name's James Woods is maybe a little little bit spicy right now. I didn't want to muddy the waters with that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so so this is we've reached the end of our little show. Has everyone had fun?
I kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I'd like to see a question like what show would make a good comic book adaptation?
It's not bad.
DuckTales.
Technically, both of them.
I know.
Technically, both this and the original already had comic book adaptations.
I know.
And it's based on comics, so.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, seriously though, Dragon, I think this was one of our best debates in a while. I had a lot of fun with it.
Mhm.
Again, I want to thank
Not quite good.
the live commenters, Oodles, very much so. Of course, they made this really a fun debate. Of course, the Jedi Knight, Josh Lemur, and also because he's not here, Rahith Dahar, kind of adding like a really fun kind of expository exhibition bout, if you will.
Yep.
All right. Okay, well that about does it. Our block of programming has come to an end. We'll see you at the next Disney debate.
Yeah.
Whatever theme it may be.
Maybe Disney's One Saturday Morning, maybe.
Maybe we'll see.
Next time for the Disney debate.
Kick his ass, Goliath!